Hi, I'm Tim, General Manager. I'd give AppFolio Property Manager a 4, and for more reviews like this, click below. Prior to using AppFolio, we were using Yardi Voyager, and the reason that we started looking for something different was simply really two things. First, we needed a better solution from an accounting standpoint. Yardi had a lot of benefit, but the accounting side was an area that we needed a little bit better fit for our business. And then the other side was really just ease of use. We wanted something that was super quick from a training standpoint when we brought somebody on as a new employee that maybe it was a 1 to 2 day training window rather than a week or two training window. We chose AppFolio really because the whole sales process from beginning to end was about us. And yeah, of course, we had to know the ins and outs of AppFolio, but it was really about what our company needed, what each of our individual business teams needed, about what wasn't working before we made a switch. And that sales process was just so immersive that we felt, after a handful of conversations with AppFolio, that they probably knew the basics of our business just as well as a lot of our employees did. And that just made us really comfortable then when we started to talk about their product and their pros and cons and how this or that would work just in a day-to-day standpoint. So I think without that really immersive sales process where they really got to know us, we might have potentially had a different outcome. But that sales process was really impressive and is just easy to work with a company that you felt so comfortable with at the end of the day. Yeah, getting started with AppFolio, it was honestly what you would expect from a software migration. It was a lot of work. There was a lot of questions. A lot of that stuff when you get to the actual onboarding of a software solution, you can't really go through the specifics until you're doing it at that time. So there was a lot of communication. It was a lot to get through. But on the positive side, regularly scheduled meetings were huge for us as we could prepare for X, Y, and Z that were in next Tuesday's meeting. There was a lot of email communication back and forth. So I would say it was a super labor intensive switch transition, but it was also effective because we were having such regular conversations and AppFolio knew us really well. My biggest advice would be ask a lot of questions. I know as we were going through it, there were times where we were like, well, should we ask that today? Should we wait? I feel like every time we did just ask a question and say, how does this work with AppFolio? We've done thing X like this in the past, but we don't really like it. What is a potential solution that would work through AppFolio? Every time we asked those questions, we not only understood AppFolio better, but I think we learned stuff about ourselves and about our company and where maybe their expertise at AppFolio and working with so many different people, they had some insight that we never would have thought of, if we just had like a company brainstorm. So if you're thinking maybe your solution isn't what you want, or maybe even just exploring, ask questions. It was the biggest asset in our transition and our sales process was just asking the questions that were on our mind.